Who do you think is the biggest threat to Georgia winning the Natty?
You're probably going to eye roll me here, but I'm going to throw him in there. What about Missouri? I mean, this is a team that largely is returning the exact same unit last year that pushed Georgia to within an 11-point, I see Stephen A., with an 11-point loss. They return the most, I think, electrifying college football player at this point in Luther Burden III, and they've got a cakewalk of a schedule. I think they're an 11-2 team, maybe even better than that, in the SEC championship. If they can sort out some of the issues on defense, in particular their pass defense, I think Missouri can actually sneak up on some people, more so than Ole Miss.
She is tremendous.
It's a little hot take.
I'm going to leave
10-16,
now.
our first hot take.
Oh, my goodness.
Stephen A.
Y'all are making me laugh. Alabama.
Oh,
That's where we're going here. What y'all talking about? Let me tell y'all something right now. Let me tell you something right now, okay? I know Nick Saban is going the greatest coach in the history of college football, who's now going to be on college football game day for this network right here. Oh, yeah, the great Nick Saban is gone. But Kalen DeBoer is no scrub. Let's look at this record right here. Excuse me, we're talking about Kalen DeBoer here. 25-3 over the last 2 seasons. The man has won 90% of his games as a head coach. 104-12 in 9 seasons at Washington, Fresno State. Even the NAIA Sioux Falls for crying out loud. 3 national titles, was in a national championship game last year against Michigan, and he is succeeding the great Nick Saban. There's a standard at Alabama, and you know what you got to do. Now, Kirby Smart is that dude. The man is special. We understand. A 2-time national champion, came up short, didn't win, didn't have a three-peat. Why did they not have a three-peat? Mrs. Bulldog, Elle, Duncan, because they ran into Alabama. That's
Nick Saban.
why they ran into that man. Now, excuse me, here's the deal right here. Kirby Smart, since the start of the 2020 season, what is Georgia's record against Alabama? 1-3, including 2 losses in the SEC title game. What is Kirby Smart record? Lifetime against Alabama, 1-5, okay? Jalen Milroy, last time I checked, he's still the quarterback for the Alabama's Crimson Tide. I understand they got questions with the receiving corps. I understand that they got questions in that regard. I'm not sniffing at that, along with the quarterback position. I get all of that. But guess what? They're talking that these brothers might have maybe the best offensive line in college football. You got hogs down there in Alabama. Hogs. Excuse me. I got a quarterback that can run with the football. He can throw with the football. I got a transfer in Bernard that comes from Washington with me as the head coach, okay? And then I got some big boys, the meat and potato brothers. Brothers sitting up there eating big globs and globs of beef in the morning for breakfast. When all else fails, give them the ball, wear you down, chew out the clock, beat you up, stomp on you, roll over you. That offensive line, hard country down in Tuscaloosa. We're talking about Alabama, and we're talking about a coach that is considered great, that is succeeding Nick Saban. There is a standard that comes with that job that has been established over the last 17 years by Nick Saban. Kalen DeBoer knows what time it is, and Kirby Smart knows it too. Alabama, that's the biggest thing that Georgia has to be worried about.
S.A., I agree with you that a standard has been set because of what Nick Saban has done over the last 17 years. We don't know if that's a standard that Kalen DeBoer can actually live up to, because you're throwing out all of his numbers and his win percentages. And you know what's in common with all of those wins? Not any of them came with him coaching in the SEC. And it's not just that he's in the SEC now and it's a totally different brand of football, a brand that you just illustrated. Smash mouth, do this, whatever. I get all that. The other issue is that Alabama did lose some pieces from the team that beat them last year. There is a mystique with Nick Saban.
Yeah, they did.
There is a mystique with Nick Saban, just like there was a mystique with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and they are not there, and no one fears the Patriots anymore because of it. They are the GOATs for Georgia. They are. There is something psychological when it comes to Georgia and Alabama, and beating them in the national championship, we thought exercised some of those demons. We have yet to be able to beat them in the SEC championship in the Kirby Smart era, but I am still, for what it's worth, going with Georgia, who perennially puts out one of the best defenses in the country, with Kirby Smart, who is leading a team that is the closest thing that we've had to a dynasty since Alabama, versus Kalen DeBoer in his first year in Tuscaloosa with a bunch of losses losses from last year.
You need to stop it. Yeah, I can't believe you, Elle Duncan. Listen. On the 6 o'clock Sports Center, I watched this wonderful, lovely, marvelous host hosting this show, and one of the things she religiously brings up is resumes, credibility, track record. I gave you a record of 104-12, and all you got for me is that it wasn't in the SEC. Well, there was a national championship game that took place months ago, right over our airwaves on ESPN. And it wasn't no SEC team in there.
Yeah.
That was Michigan versus Washington, okay? Wait a minute. And why was Michigan there? Because they beat an SEC team to get there in Alabama, okay? All I'm trying to say to you is that Kellen DeBoer, when you see what he brings to the table, I understand he has something to prove, but it ain't like he coached in the SEC before, lost, and he's coming back. This is his first go-round. All we got is his resume, and the resume is pretty damn impeccable. On his level, he got 3 national championships. On his level, he had a trip to the national championship game last year. And all you got for me is that, well, he didn't do it in the SEC?
All right,
Oh,
let's
my
let
goodness,
Matt
Elle
finish.
Duncan.
Didn't do it against the Big Ten either. Didn't do it against the Big Ten.